All right, family. Gambling God is back here now that we've posted our NFL video. We're going to post our video for you for your other sports, your NBA and your NHL. I never advocate betting the NBA, but, I have had a pretty good read on these teams. We are tracking these things. We are monitoring them. We're going through the trends, who's in, who's out, winning streaks, losing streaks, who's starting, who's not starting, who's coming back from injury, guys like Oladipo, things of this nature. Is Paul George going to start? Is Kawhi Leonard going to be off? I've got my finger on the pulse of it. I have a fantasy team. I'm checking players, how many games they're playing every week. Washington has 2 games this week. I took out David Bertans. I am whittling this down to a fine point for you. I know who's in, who's out, to the point where I know that Jay Crowder on Memphis is questionable because he has an illness in Golden State. So I got my finger on the pulse of who's in, who's out, the trends, the wins, and the losses. I'm doing this for my own purposes, of course, but I'm imparting it to you so that you have the knowledge. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you actually work in an office where you can't access fantasy stuff during the day. You can come to the Gambling God. I am checking the Roto World. I am checking the Roto Wire. I am checking the injuries, the trades, the trends, who's hired, who's fired, who got blown out, who's jockeying for position, who's coming back from injury, all this kinds of nonsense that you guys can't do because you actually have a job and I don't. So, NBA tonight, Clippers, Indiana. This is a big one. Kawhi Leonard not playing. Clippers with Paul George returning to Indiana. I like Indiana here. They're home. They're obviously a very good team. They've played very well this year. Clippers, as much as I like them, without Leonard, they will put up a fight. This will be a close game in my opinion. But without Leonard and in Indiana, I'm going to take Indiana to win this game. I don't see value in Clippers plus 2.5. Always, of course, when you're getting a good team on the money line with the Clippers, they're worth a shot in terms of value. But my feeling on a Monday with no Leonard, he's resting, coming off a win where they spanked their last opponent. Who I don't have it in front of me, but I know the Clippers have spanked whoever they just played. I like the Pacers to win this game. Let's go with the Pacers to win and defeat the Clippers. Next, Cleveland is at Boston. There's no value here. I don't like Cleveland. They look terrible. They've lost by 40 points at least 3 times. I think the NBA should institute a rule where if you lose by 40 points more than 3 times in a season, or if you lose by 50 at least even once, you're out of the league. Let's bring Duke in. Let Duke take their spot, or some college team to take Cleveland's spot. How many points are they going to lose by? I mean, really, if Duke played the Celtics tonight, would they lose by 60? I don't necessarily think so. I don't think that Marcus Smart is playing. I see that Gordon Hayward is available. It should not matter. Celtics win. No value here. I will not tell you to take a team minus 14. I think that's suicide. I think it's a waste. There are other games. Let's keep shopping. Detroit, New Orleans. New Orleans is not playing that well. Drummond is playing well for Detroit to the point where they are using Jahlil Okafor now at center. Derek Favors is out. Jackson Hayes is coming off the bench. Drew Holiday is starting. I like Detroit to win this game. They're +1. Let's take the Pistons to win outright. Toronto at Chicago. Chicago is getting 6 points. As you know, Kyle Lowry is out. Fred VanVleet is not playing, and Norman Powell is in the starting lineup from what I understand. I like Toronto to win this game. There is some value here if you can get Chicago +8. Buy it up from 6 to 8. Take Toronto to win. Chicago to cover the 8 points. If you have to take Chicago +6, grab them at +6. But at a minimum, I like Toronto to win. Sacramento at Houston. I'll take Sacramento all day long. I love me some Sacramento. Some Buddy Hield. And I love the team they're putting together. They just won. 12.5 is a lot of points. I like the over, and I like Sacramento to cover and possibly to win this game. You heard it here first. Sacramento, money line, a value play. Give them a shot. I think it's worth a try. Orlando at Milwaukee. I like Orlando to cover the 12.5. Buy it up to 14.5 if you can get it. Orlando behind Aaron Gordon. Evan Fournier playing well. I have Fournier draining 3-pointers. I think Orlando can cover this spread with Green Birch down low. I'm not saying they're going to win. It's a possibility, though. I do think Orlando could win this game. I know I sound like a crazy person. There is a lot of value here in Sacramento and Orlando. You want to consider them on the money line for a small play. $5 or $10 money line is not going to hurt you. Give it a shot. Definitely Sacramento money line. Definitely Orlando money line. These are quality plays that the Gambling God is giving you on the spread, plus the points. possibly 4 money line victories. Also, first half action, I like Sacramento to be ahead at the half and certainly to cover the 6.5 first half plus 6.5. And I like Orlando to be ahead at the half and certainly to cover 5.5 or 6 first half action. My advice is always going to be to try these teams first half action because they want to induce panic in the people that take the favorites. Please try Sacramento and try Orlando to be ahead at the end of the first half. Minnesota, Phoenix, I'm taking Phoenix. Devin Booker going wild. It'll be a close game. Take the over in this game. This is going to be a run and gun, old-fashioned salute. We have Wiggins running around. Okogie is now starting for Minnesota. I just picked him up in my fantasy team. I had him, cut him, brought him back in. Karl Anthony Towns, like the way they're playing. T coming off the bench. Jarrett Culver starting, the rookie. I like Phoenix's team. We've got Baines in the starting lineup at center. We've got Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre coming on tremendously. Frank the Tank Kaminsky. Wait till they bring back DeAndre Ayton. Phoenix will be a team that might sneak into playoffs. I like the over. Phoenix wins the game. I don't like it. I don't like any of the spread action here. Phoenix to win and the over. OKC at Utah. Chris Paul, the point god. I like OKC to cover 10.5 if you can get it. They can win this game outright. I like OKC here, plus 10.5, possibly to win on the money line. There is no value in Utah 8.5. There is no value in Utah money line. Memphis, Golden State, terrible game. I like Golden State. They seem to be stabilizing a little bit. They have some of their guys back. D'Angelo Russell is back. They're getting good play down low from Glenn Robinson and Eric Pascal. Draymond Green is playing well. They're getting good contributions off the bench from Marquise Chris and Kai Bowman. I like Golden State to win this game. Jay Crowder may not play for Memphis tonight. I think John Morant is back, and D'Anthony Melton playing well off the bench for Memphis. Let's take Golden State to win that game. In your fixed NHL, Islanders, Tampa Bay, I will take the Islanders. There is no value in Tampa Bay. As much as I like Tampa Bay's team, they just smacked around San Jose. San Jose's goalie is blind. They won, I think, 7-1. I like the Islanders here. Tremendous value. Whenever you can get the Islanders on the plus, on the money line, grab them. Take the Islanders to win this game. Columbus at Washington. There is no value in Washington, but I will take Washington to win. I do like them. I do not like Columbus. The playoffs were rigged last year for Columbus. I am not a fan of them. They cost me a lot of money when I had Tampa Bay. F them. Take Washington to win, but again, not much value. Boston at Ottawa. Boston should go into Ottawa and spank them. Having said that, I like Ottawa. I think the bookies are undervaluing them. They're home on a plus 160. I think it's a reasonable play to try Ottawa plus 160. Do I think they're going to win? It'll be a tight one. I'm not in love with it per se, but I think Ottawa can win that game. Ottawa will hang in there with Boston. Boston is a very good team. They were in the finals last year. They very well might go back to the finals this year. Try Ottawa tonight. I think there's some value there. Calgary, Colorado. I'll take Colorado. Colorado eliminated Calgary last year from the playoffs. I will take Colorado to beat them again. Take the over. Calgary has problems with their goaltending. Both of these teams can score. In the Mile High City, let's take Colorado to win. So in review, Indiana Pacers to defeat the Clippers. Boston beats Cleveland. Detroit beats New Orleans. Toronto beats Chicago. Chicago covers. Sacramento covers against Houston. Possibly could win on a value play. Orlando will cover against Milwaukee and could possibly win. Take Sacramento and Orlando to be ahead at the end of the first half and take them plus the points first half action. Phoenix wins, defeats Minnesota at home. It goes over. Take the over. OKC covers the 8.5. Buy it up to 10.5. I think OKC can win that game in Utah. Golden State defeats Memphis. The Islanders win in Tampa Bay. Washington defeats Columbus. Ottawa beats Boston. Colorado defeats Calgary. Take the over. We have a separate NFL video. It's fixed. Tune in. Gambling God giving you your picks for your fixed NBA, fixed NHL, fixed NFL. We're signing off for your Monday, December 9th. Good luck, everybody. Call us on the Gambling God hotline, 347-861-7776.